Crypto. All the crypto news in one place.
Despite the massive drop in Bitcoin falling from 126K almost all the way down to 85K, only 4 to 5% of the ETFs have sold. And that is surprising. So it's not like they said, well, after nearly 2 years in the game of Bitcoin, it's fallen, I'm out. No, only a tiny sliver have sold, which is an extremely positive sign. It shows you that the people that invest in the ETFs tend to be long-term holders. It's part of a portfolio, like a retirement account, etc.
We saw some nice breakthroughs in 2024 with the approval of the ETF in January. And then in the November election cycle, we got a very pro-crypto and pro-Bitcoin administration. And then in January of this year, we got an upgrade to the accounting for all digital assets. And now we're moving in the phase of banking acceptance, and we're starting to get banks that are willing to extend credit on the ETFs like IBIT. And now there are many like Schwab and Citi have announced they're going to start to custody crypto assets like Bitcoin.
Do you know where I can find any crypto, where I can score some cryptocurrency around here?
I don't know what that is.
You don't know what crypto is? You've heard of Bitcoin and all that shit, right?
Of what?
Bitcoin. You seem like a man of means, sir, and you've never heard of cryptocurrency? You're well off, aren't you? You're not homeless, are you?
No.
Yeah. But you've never heard of digital currency? Sir, excuse me, have you ever heard of Bitcoin?
I haven't, sir. I sure have.
Cryptocurrency? Where am I? Where have you been?
A lot of people blame all of the betting market stuff, the prediction market activity, stealing the oxygen. People blame meme coins and stealing the oxygen from crypto last year. And then this year, they think everybody is YOLO because humans are DJs. Everybody's betting now on prediction markets instead of crypto because it's kind of, in some ways, you consider it's a lot easier to bet in a prediction market than the unknown things like crypto. But you can see here the top chains for prediction markets now. Number 1 is Solana. Number 2 is Base from Coinbase. And number 3 is Polygon. And Polygon, by the way, with Polymarket, were very involved early on. They're now number 3. Ethereum is number 6. Even Hyperliquid is bigger than Ethereum.
And because of that, I think that the things that are going on in the background, such as Robinhood just released 500 tokenized stocks on their platform overnight. This just happened. They like flipped a switch. So what they were doing is they were using, we talked about this previously for a couple months or so, as they chose layer 2 solution Arbitrum, which is built on Ethereum layer 1.
First of all, just before taking a look at the Bitcoin and crypto charts today, taking a quick look at the US stock market, because this right here is the S&P 500 index on the 1 hour time frame, and we can see that right now we're actually starting to see a little bit more of a bounce in the immediate short term for the US stock market, which just in the immediate short term can of course help the crypto market.
Many cost basis levels for Bitcoin, for example, cluster around 75 to 81,000, which is not too far away from where Bitcoin is right now. The average price for Bitcoin ETF buyers over at BlackRock's around $83,000. So very important levels where we're at right now.
The Bitcoin Fear and Greed Index is right now hitting levels not seen since the bear market of 2022. And right now, Bitcoin is truly getting ready for a massive move in the market because this consolidation phase is about to break out.
Let's talk about another cool chart from Bitcoin, though. This is interesting. This is the Bitcoin realized cap. It now hit a new all-time high of about $1.15 trillion, which is good. But what this means is it basically adds up all the times and prices of which Bitcoin has changed hands. And breaking a new all-time high basically reflects how a lot of the old hands, the long-term holders, especially the 3 to 5 year old cohort, have moved their Bitcoin, they sold it, and that's moved to new hands at a new price. Therefore, the realized cap has gone up. It's very good to see it so high, actually, because that means there is new money coming in. You know, the Bitcoin sold, it has to go to somebody.
But like you can see here, sometimes it can stay fearful for a longer period of time here. Well, we of course also state greedy for a longer sustainable period of time as well, but still the price went towards the upside. So I do want to give you a quick heads up here, is that not necessarily always whenever we are in extreme fear, it is straight away a good time to be accumulating. But as we are in a prolonged period of fear, which we actually are entering right now as well, it historically are greater times to be accumulating. So let's see how this is obviously going to be evolving. But ultimately, the bigger and the longer period of fear we're going to be experiencing in the market, the greater the opportunity ultimately is going to be here.
Last 5 times Bitcoin was this oversold. Price doubled within roughly 3 months. So I think the confluence of those 2 data points are very interesting. Our risk model saying one thing in terms of historically, after 3 months, what Bitcoin price was doing, 84% of the time after 1 year. And altcoins, our altcoin risk model, everybody, at a 13. At this score, the price was higher 85% of the time after 3 months, 100% of the time after 1 year. It is more risky to exit the market at this point with where we are right now.
This overall is very typical of sideways chop whenever Bitcoin is just ranging sideways, not really doing a whole lot interesting. And really, right now, Bitcoin is in one of 2 boats. Either one, it is in what amounts to a major bear flag that's going to send Bitcoin significantly lower, or it is possible that Bitcoin is in the process of bottoming. You see, it's very rare that Bitcoin will go through a bottom the same way that it goes through a top. In the last 10 years or so that I've been watching this market, you almost never see a V-bottom. It's extremely rare. The last major time that I can remember seeing a V-bottom on Bitcoin where Bitcoin just dropped and then immediately recovered was during the COVID-19 pandemic. Pretty much every single other time that we've dropped very low, we have seen Bitcoin drop down to these levels and trade sideways for weeks or months.
But we are at the 50-month moving average. What does that mean from actually just a technical perspective? Well, this is precisely where this chart bottomed in the bear market. I'm not saying it was easy. Look at this. Look at this mess. But that was like a very long bottom.
So, did you enjoy the zap? Let me know in the comments.